Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, hello. Let me know if you can see and hear me okay, please. Today is the 3rd of December, 2023, and this will be the second in the set of 3 healings. That is the December 2023 triplet set. And the theme is creativity and self-expression, removing limits. But as usual, there is so much more to this set. The healing on Friday, 2 days ago, the first healing, was kind of, it was, it was interesting. It was not at all what I previewed when I first talked about it. So there's that. I previewed maybe like 4 different concepts, and then we went full blast with one of the 4 concepts. So, wasn't entirely misleading. But part of that is just because it's really spontaneous. Some of this stuff, once I'm healing everybody, then it's like, oh, yeah, we're going this way. So, there's that. So, the big thing that we did on Friday, we worked upper boundaries, which is a new term. Yay, thank you so much for the confirmation. Yay, thank you. You guys are awesome. Upper boundaries, because you can have a lot of energy can come in from any direction. Foreign energy, like, pissy sisters, nosy neighbors, invasive comforters, or invasive beings. So that it's that energy that's not yours can come in from above, come in from front, behind, whatever. But it did seem that everyone needed the most boundaries help with energy that comes down from above and kind of like compresses your head and causes a lot of stress with head, neck, and shoulders and upper chakras. So just like, and it makes it hard to function at your best, and certainly makes it hard to be creative and self-expressive. Creativity and self-expression is kind of like, what you do once the basics are okay. So if the basics are not okay and you're just trying to get done what you have to get done, your level of creativity is not going to be that great. So I figured, well, let's deal with these upper boundaries, get them much better, so then people have some breathing room, literally, to, over time, be more creative, be more themselves, express themselves more. So that's that. So it worked. And I will do more of that in this healing, work upper boundaries, because it did work so well. And it was, it was a biggie. So, but how we did work upper boundaries, we did a lot of unblocking up here and even above the top of the aura, because the more flowing it is, the more flowing your aura is, the stronger it is. People always get confused. Well, newbies get confused and they think that you need something hard, like a shield, and then that would protect you. But anything hard, on the outer surface or within your auras actually draws in external energy and deeper into your space, so it causes more damage. So the more flow you have, then it just kind of bounces out and maybe doesn't even get in the first place. So flow is what you want. And so anyway, so we worked flow by unblocking a lot all around here. But then I even did like a lot of upper body meridian work, like CV meridian, GV meridian, urinary bladder meridian, gallbladder meridian. I did not do small intestine meridian that goes in the upper back, but I did do Sanjiao meridian that goes along this part, the part of it that goes along the shoulder. It starts in one of your fingers and goes up the back of your arm and goes in your shoulder a bit. So I specifically focused on like this shoulder swoop area of the gallbladder meridian, and also there's a part here of the Sanjiao meridian, and so I specially unblocked and helped repair chakras within those meridians. But today I'm going to do it in a different way. Oh, and I did not do like face, stomach meridian, and like I said, I didn't do small intestine meridian. But anyway, so today I'm not going to do the literal meridian work because I did that 2 days ago, and I think it would be more interesting to do a different approach to it today to get the meridian flow, is to use like one river representation of all your, we'll do a river representing, you know, any parts of any meridians that are in your upper body, like say fourth chakra and above, and then one river to represent any part of any meridian that's say fourth chakra and below. I mean, you could just do one river, but we could do two since we're thinking specifically about upper boundaries, because it does seem like upper flow helps the most with upper boundaries. I mean, flow anywhere helps, but yeah. So anyway, so we're gonna just do like that metaphorical representation, one river representing the flow and state of all the little acupuncture points. Because when it works, that's really cool, and it's more approachable for people in general. And speaking of more approachable in general, we are going to do chaos boundary wall work again. That is turning out to be a fan favorite. It's a way to work boundaries with invasive energies. That again, you just imagine a big gold flowing wall and you look for gashes or hard things within it and just keep healing it and using lots of gold light. So the stronger and more flowing your gold chaos boundary wall is, that is a representation. It's a simplified representation of all the chakras and aura layers or whatever that add up to you having strong boundaries. So by repairing your chaos boundary wall, it helps a lot. And it's a simple, approachable thing to do. So that's good too. So, but we're going to take chaos boundary wall one step further today, and I'm 99% sure we will actually do it today. Although, you know, we'll see. But I think I'm going to like have deep thought technique and chaos boundary wall sort of have a baby, and that's the technique we'll do. So it'll be like, we'll do first just regular chaos boundary wall, but then we'll do like deep thought technique where you look at your mind, your subconscious mind, and your conscious mind as separate sections. And we'll look for boundaries within your mind, your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. So it'll be like a chaos boundary wall exercise, but in two parts, where there's one chaos boundary wall for your conscious mind and one for your subconscious mind. Because sometimes you can kind of isolate a problem that way, like, wow, you know, I have a lot of boundary problems within my subconscious mind, you know, and then, you know, it's the same thing. You just, you know, like regular chaos boundary wall, you just, you know, use lots of gold light so that the holes repair up. So anyway, I think that will help with stress levels, doing that, you know, the blending deep thought chaos boundary wall exercise. So I want to do that today. I do, just to go back to the upper boundaries, I do have one extra little addition that I might add to that upper boundaries work as well, but we'll see. I may or may not do filaments today. It may not even be necessary. So if it's not necessary, I won't do it, but it's sort of on my radar. Chakra filaments between physical body chakras and astral body chakras. But I think on the definite list, maybe the most definite thing, I think, that I'll be doing today is, I'm calling it angel storage. And angel storage is like the alternative to denial and repression for just baggage that's like you're not ready to handle right now. So rather than you know, try to repress it and just kind of shove it somewhere that you think it won't bother you so much. Which, you know, because repression isn't so, it doesn't, I mean, you know, people do it and sometimes it's necessary. You can't process everything all at once sometimes, but you can't handle sometimes, you know, some stuff in your life, and like something, too many big things happen at once maybe or something. So that's why people use repression. And you know, it's true that you can't process everything at once. You know, everything that's ever happened bad to you that you've never resolved is too much to deal with today. It's just too much. You know? So that's why people use denial and repression, to kind of be like, okay, that's not there. But angel storage is a better idea, I think. And with angel storage, you and your angels make cute little storage, you know, devices, like maybe gold boxes with special designs that you and your angels invent, you know, creatively. And you put the baggage that you're not ready to handle with your angel help. So this is not like stuff you really should deal with today. It's like you and your angels are like, no, 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 that's too much, you know. And so you put it into angel storage. And so rather than, you know, repression and denial, where sometimes it's not the smartest part of you making that decision, plus, you know, regular repression and denial sort of backfires at the worst time. And then you get triggered by stuff that's just, you know, really stressful, right? But if it's in angel storage, then your angels help so that it doesn't get triggered at the wrong time, you know, and then you can just deal with one box at a time kind of idea, you know. I told somebody that it was like doing laundry, and you can, you know, if you only have one washing machine, you can only do one load at a time. So it doesn't matter if you have like 70 loads of dirty laundry to do. If you only have one washer, that's, you know, so you shouldn't like throw everything out, all the dirty laundry all over your house until you wash it all. It'll drive you insane, right? So same thing with baggage. You know, if you can only healthy and gentle process this much at once, then everything else you could put it in angel storage. And then, you know, it's sort of like unprocessed, empty unprocessed stress pots is maybe like a distant cousin of this. This is like one step further, where there's like too much triggered, and therefore it doesn't go in your unprocessed stress pots. It's too much for that, so then it goes into angel storage. So I noticed that 2 people that filled out surveys needed this just because of stuff that happened in their life in the last couple months, and it was just too much. And, you know, it wasn't, like I said, denial and repression is just not reliable enough. And so, you know, it's like being confronted with too much every day. Bam, 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 you know. So that's why they need this sort of angel storage technique that we'll be doing. And then like 1 or maybe 2 people, the reason they need it is because the upper boundary work worked so well that there's less pressure on them. So subconsciously they got so motivated, and they're like, it's like if you try to push yourself forward, right? You're trying to push yourself forward, you're trying to push it, you're like all your might, and you can only little steps forward, right? But then all of a sudden, all this invasive energy that usually is bearing down on you is not there anymore because of the Friday healing, and now you have way better upper boundaries. So all of a sudden, all that pressure that you were putting on yourself to go forward, you know, you're like opening up all your, you know, all the stuff that you repress. So you trigger too much. But ironically, you know, it's like it wasn't a tragedy that triggered it. It was a really good healing that made you a lot safer. So then you got kind of overly motivated. So that's why 1 or 2 people need it, is just because nothing's really wrong. And so they got overly motivated to clear too much. And so therefore too much was triggered. So then it's like way too overwhelming. And then it's like, okay, get me out of here. I don't want to deal with anything. It's like, okay, like I have I'm going to draw a small diagram. So, okay, so say, okay, so say this is your physical body, right? And what you want is you want your body, your physical body, which stores baggage, stores energy, vibrates at certain energies, generates energy, you know, has its own aura, has its own grounding, all that good stuff, has chakras. You want a really good vibe for your body because otherwise you don't want to be there. And when you don't want to be there, you're like, oh, I'm not gonna, you know, do anything today, whatever, you know, it's just like, let me sleep all day, right? So you want your body to have good vibes, right? You don't want a lot of like awfulness triggered here because then you will go up here and you'll be like, oh, it feels better when I go away. So I'll just sleep forever. Which obviously is not practical or realistic, but that's how it feels. So you're like, no, I'm not going to heal myself. No, I'm not going to, I can barely eat. No, I think I'll just sleep. You know, and that's because, okay, like say you have these chakra filaments, right? They connect your seventh to your seventh, your sixth to your sixth, your fifth to your fifth, etc., right? So then there's like your first to your first, your third to your third, you get the point, right? So I think if we just box up all the junk that's making your body flavored of like, it's giving your body the flavor of like every trauma you've never cleared yet, then this will be pleasant, the vibes going back and forth between you and your body. So you'll be like, oh, maybe I'll get a little closer, maybe I'll get a little closer. Oh, it's not so bad, let me come back. So we'll see, but that's the idea. We may have to overtly unblock chakra filaments and get some of the muck out of these connections between, you know, your body chakras and your spirit chakras, but it may not be necessary. So that'll be interesting. That's why I don't want to do it just no matter what. I want to see if once we do the angel storage, then the vibes will all clean up and it'll be nice again. So we'll see. We shall see. Oh, and weather report for me. I had emailed everyone in this triplet set, everyone that paid for the healings. The email that I sent Friday night after the first healing that has the survey link in it to fill out on Saturday. I said, you know, just a heads up, we're supposed to get severe weather. There's like a window of time between now and like mid next week, like maybe Wednesday of this coming week, that, you know, they gave us all these warnings of like, you know, there may be flooding, there may be this, there may be that, there may be high winds and power outages. And so I just let everyone know, you know, if I don't have power at some point, obviously I'm not going to live stream. We do have a generator though, so it's possible I could live stream in a power outage, maybe, but you know, that's sort of in theory. So I don't know, you know. We may be just, you know, figuring out what to do with all our food that's melting if the power outage is long enough, you know. So, but anyway, so, you know, in other words, we may be saving the generator for the, you know, for the fridge and not for live streaming. For the freezer and not for live streaming. But anyway, I wanted to let people know that, you know, back in the old days, I used to, in the old days, like 4 years ago, but I don't know when I started these group healings, 4 or 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I don't remember. But I never used to live stream myself. I used to do the healings and then just, you know, jot down a little summary as I worked and then put together an email later and say, okay, well, I did the healing at this time, it started at this time, it ended at this time, and this is basically what I did. You know, so if there's a power outage and I can't live stream when one of the healings is supposed to happen, I'll do the healing anyway. I just won't live stream. And someone was like, oh, you could film yourself, you know, with a battery pack and then upload it later. I'm not going to do that. No, I'm just not. Uploading giant hour-and-a-half long videos, I don't have that kind of internet to do that. Like it's just, no, I won't do that. I mean, at some point, it should be about the healing and not about the live stream. Like I'm not gonna, pay a production team to come to my house and so but anyway, and of course somebody mentioned, very thoughtful, like, well, your safety comes first, which yes, definitely, if my life is at risk, I'm not gonna do the healing. I'll postpone it. But we have really good drainage and stuff, so it could be flooding in our area and it won't flood our property, knock on wood. But like we live in this area that's very hilly, and we live sort of midway up the hill, so there are a lot of areas that are lower than ours, and plus we're not really near rivers that flood. Like I looked up flood zone maps and stuff before we bought this place, so there could be a lot of flooding in our area, but it won't make our house flood. Knock on wood. So, but the wind, though, the wind is a thing. That's generally what causes power outages out here, and they can last, these power outages. I mean, before we got here, someone was like, yeah, the other year we had a power outage that lasted for like multiple days. Because we came from Chicago, and that's like crazy, like in Chicago, if you have a power outage, I don't know, maybe it's a half hour, and you're like, whoa, you know. But here there are all these giant 150-year-old trees and stuff, and they're just giant, and and there are all these. None of the power lines are buried; they're all on poles, and so it's pretty easy for a tree to go down, or a tree to even just lose a giant limb, and then it knocks out a power line, and then everyone loses power, yada yada. So power outages are a reality in this area. But a lot of times, you have a few a year, but they might be just a few hours or something. So in general, I'm lucky and they don't happen during a live stream time. But just so you know, like power outage time is basically now, fall, winter, and spring here is power outage time potential. So if you can always email me if you think like there should have been a survey or there should have been something sent out yet. But, worst case, it's just some kind of power outage and I'm sitting there in the dark. And I'll get to whatever I missed as soon as I can. So just so you know, I just want you guys to be like mentally prepared that A, I'm safe, don't worry, but B, power outages are a possibility. Okay, more than enough, I'm sure, on that topic. We hear you, we can see and hear you. I can see and hear you from cloudy Las Vegas, 56. Nice. Can hear and see you, 26, and snowing in Evergreen, Colorado. We bought a snowblower. We bought a snowblower, like a big machine that, moves deep snow away. Makes it go away, makes it shoot away. And we bought that, like, I don't know, like maybe a third of the way through 2 years ago, like 2 years ago now, maybe. Because that winter started out with a ton of snow right away. And we were like, oh my God, this is so weird. And it was like deep snow, and it was a long time, and well, for this area. And so we bought a snowblower. Since then, we haven't had any deep snow. Like, so that winter or last winter. So we'll see how long our snowblower luck lasts. But yeah, since we've gotten a snowblower, we don't have significant snowfall. Which is typical for our area not to have significant snowfall, but with global warming, you never know. Hi from Chicago, 41 and cloudy. Yeah, we're probably in the 40s now. Hello from Ottawa, Canada. So glad to learn healing techniques today. Yes, today will be a goodie. Okay. Well, that's that. All right, so I am going to be quiet for about 3 minutes or so. And then I'll, as I'm healing, I'll say what I'm doing out loud, which is basically a walkthrough, an all levels walkthrough if you want to heal yourself as you watch. And the next time healings go up for sale is in 12 days on the 15th of December. February healings will go up for sale on my website, which is jwhealing.com. Just like this YouTube channel, the new name of this YouTube channel, which is JW Healing. Okay, I'll be quiet for 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, thanks for waiting. So when you heal yourself, if you want, use a copy out in front of you of your energy system. Use gold light for your hands, big hand chakra, fingertip chakras. Set those chakras to metallic gold color so that as your hand chakra and your fingertip chakra spin, they generate gold light, which that's what you're using to heal yourself and repair and let go of things. So grounding, just recreate your grounding, make it really big, wide as all your auras. And 2 groundings, one for your astral body auras, one for your physical body aura. And just have it stay wide all the way down to the core of the earth. Make both red or orange or yellow. all the way down to the core of the earth. Same color for both astral and physical body groundings. With grounding, then you unblock it. Just check for blocks within your grounding, clogs, and melt them with gold light. You want a very strong downward flow, like a waterfall, but like a really strong flowing waterfall, not with a bunch of rocks in it. Just melt away all the blocks so that the whole thing flows really, really well. It's not grief or sadness or anger that makes you feel crappy. It's the fact that it's not releasing that makes you feel crappy. So as long as it's all releasing out of you, then you like feel it very moderately. If you're overwhelmed, I mean, you may have damage, but also you're probably not releasing well. So anyway, let it go. Don't save it. Don't save the shittiness. Let it go. And then indie grounding, you just check the outer surface of your groundings and melt away any connections to other people, any hard objects stuck there. Just melt it all away with gold light. Alrighty. Let's do regular chaos boundary wall. Repairing and unblocking. So with chaos boundary wall, it's a simplified way of imagining your boundaries with external energies. So you imagine it as if you want, you imagine it as like a big gold flowy wall. That's your chaos boundary wall, your boundaries with chaos, which, is this just one word way to say external energy that feels really overwhelming if it's in your space. So then just use gold light and repair your chaos boundary wall. You can have gashes, big holes, and just use so much gold light that they grow back together. It could be that you are matching the pain of people in a war zone. It could be that you live in a country that is at war. So you're not like letting down your countrymen or the people in whatever country is at war by not resonating with their pain, because when people link together in pain, they're just even more screwed than they would be otherwise. So just kind of unmatch all the pain of people around you, and just that can strengthen your chaos boundary wall also. So you're aware of their stress and discomfort, and then you look at, okay, well, what is that triggering within me, and just melt away what triggers within you. Like maybe you live with somebody even who is an alcoholic or a hoarder or depressed, right? And so it can be stressful to be around that person, but you can't just sort of will them to be better. Sometimes like say if someone has an eating disorder or a hoarding disorder, I mean, they may not even fix it in this lifetime, but you may still want to live with them. And so you clear your triggers. What is triggering within you when you're around that person? So just stack up all the junk that is triggering within you when you're aware of wars, when you're aware of depressed people, hoarding people, whoever, right? And just what's triggering within you. And just stack all that up, those energy blocks, and just melt those away. Just letting those people be who they are, where they are, is a gift to them. I mean, everyone thinks you should just kind of force your loved ones to be perfect. You know, they should eat healthy, they should, whatever. They should never drink alcohol, they should, meditate all the time, they should do all these things, right? But people grow at different paces, people are different ages spiritually, and, it just might not be something they're open to. And so that may trigger a lot within you. And in order to respect their free will, you clear your triggers. That way you're at peace with where they are at, right? So just line up all your triggers about, people suffering homelessness, people sick, people suffering violence and abuse, or just, people that you care about who are depressed or having financial hardships or going through surgeries. You may have people who are going through, health issues. Just what is that trigger within you? Just stack all that up and melt it away. So we were doing Chaos Boundary Wall, and then we did, and we're going to go back to that, but then we started doing clearing baggage that is triggered by wars or loved ones in hardship, I'll say, to summarize it. Loved ones experiencing hardship. Maybe someone you care about has to go through a surgery or they have cancer or something. What is that trigger within you? So again, stack all that up and melt it away. Doesn't help them if you're going to be stuck about it. Actually, it's worse, because then if you're stuck about it, you're probably going to be courting them and be invasive. You're more likely to be courting and invasive with them. So just melt that away. Melt away your baggage. What triggers within you when you think about, wars that are happening in the world? What triggers within you when you're thinking about political turmoil? Just melt it away. And, we can do unprocessed stress pots as well. Empty unprocessed stress pots. So unprocessed stress pots is just, it's sort of an extra space where you put stuff that's too much, but it's stuff that you could work through, but like not this second, So those are, you can imagine them like cooking pots, that get full with stress, and then, but you can empty them, and that helps your brain work better. So just check your unprocessed stress pots, and are they full, half full, are they empty? It's a lot less stressful if they're empty, because then, should something bigger happen, you have to put some in there, you have some room, right? So just check your unprocessed stress pots, and you can bring up red earth energy, gold light, and just melt away whatever's in there. So you're essentially processing whatever's in there just by using lots of gold light. If you have people courting, your unprocessed stress pots, just melt away their cords so that the pot's empty. I have a, you can get courted by people who are concerned for you. And they may not show their concern, but they may be courting your unprocessed stress pots out of concern. And that may be why you're so, like, everything seems like it's too much, like you just can't deal, because you have people courting your unprocessed stress pots so they're not emptying. So just melt away everybody's cords from your pots and then let the pots empty. And do it a couple of times, because what will happen is then you'll just like sweat out more stress into the pots, and then you can clear that too. And then you'll sweat out more into the pots probably, and you can clear that too. It's this if you have a backlog of stuff that you've been trying to process. All right, so that was emptying unprocessed stress pots, including melting cords from others. So let's check back with chaos boundary wall again. So you imagine a big gold flowy wall that represents your boundaries with external energies. And it's not a literal wall that you have, it's a simplified way of imagining your boundaries. Just check for junk, like hard stuff in your wall. Just lift out the junk and hard stuff and melt it away. Lift out the junk out of your chaos boundary wall and melt it away. Use gold light. Get that chaos boundary wall nice and flowy and strong. Okay. All right. So that's regular chaos boundary wall. So then let's do that, the baby that I mentioned. Deep thought technique plus chaos boundary wall. Which is, sounds more complicated than it is. Basically, deep thought technique is where you heal your mind, basically, and you get rid of stuff that shouldn't be there, so that your higher self can talk to your mind, and your subconscious mind can talk to your conscious mind just in an appropriate way. This is regular deep thought technique, where you just imagine a section that represents your 8th chakra, which you actually do have, but it's above you. It's like a big gold sun above the top of your aura. But you imagine a section for your 8th chakra, a section for your conscious mind, a section for your subconscious mind. Your 8th chakra is going to be safe, so we don't really have to worry about that with invasive energies. But conscious mind and subconscious mind, that can get like holes punched in it, with external energy coming in, and it's not really obvious. It just feels like everything's too much to handle, So you can imagine mostly these two sections. I mean, you can notice this, that your 8th chakra should be really gold and flowy. But then your conscious mind section and your subconscious mind section, again, these are just representations, simplified representations of your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. But you can have them be like chaos boundary walls for just your conscious mind and a chaos boundary wall for your subconscious mind. And just see, it's like one of them stronger than the other. Is one of them more flowing than the other? And just use lots of gold light, same way you would with regular chaos boundary wall exercise, but just you may notice that they're still, even though we've already done chaos boundary wall, that now as you separate them out, conscious mind chaos boundary wall, subconscious mind chaos boundary wall, that maybe you can tell which area needs more work right now. Okay. So that was cool. I don't know how it was for you, but you could comment that at the end of the healing if you want, if you have any comments about it, or just save it for your post-healing survey, which I will send out late tonight, and you could fill out on Monday if you wanted to. All right, so that was Deep Thought plus Chaos Boundary Wall, sort of hugging and making a new technique, sort of. So is it unique Chaos Boundary Wall for your conscious mind and one for your subconscious mind. Alrighty. Angel storage. So I talked about this in the intro, discussion time. So being overly triggered is very sucky. It's terrible. And it, like I showed in my amazing diagram here. And by the way, when I say amazing, I'm sarcastic. Like there was this one client, obviously she's not my client anymore, because she decided I was like evil in every way imaginable, but she said I was really arrogant. And I think she just missed that like all the compliments I give myself are sarcasm. So, but she was so convinced that I was like extremely arrogant that, you know, I couldn't convince. I was like, okay, whatever. Sure, I'm really arrogant. But anyway, so my amazing drawing here. You know, if you have too much triggered, usually, I mean, you can have too much triggered here too, but a lot of times, if too much is triggered in both places and then you distance yourself, this will clear faster, your astral body, because that's you. Your physical body, it's simpler. It's just a body. So, you know, like your brain can clear energy blocks in your sleep, and that's what turns into those body dreams, you know, those weird dreams where you're a fish and then you're going to the bathroom somewhere and then you're, you know, someone's angry at you and, you know, all these weird Freudian things happen. Those are body dreams, and that's just your body trying to clear energy. And sometimes you're close enough that you watch the movie as a dream, you know? But anyway, so your body, it's not great at clearing giant things, you know? That's how you get recurring body dreams that are unpleasant, because your body keeps trying to clear whatever blocks it up, but, you know, it's not that great. So you're the one that needs to clear your body's drama. Otherwise, it's still there, and it still completely flavors your entire life. So unless you want your entire life to be shit flavored and trauma flavored and completely overwhelming at every turn, you need to clear blocks, right? But you can only clear so much at once, right? So that's where the angel storage comes into play. Usually people use denial and avoidance and, you know, repression, and they shove it down. But the problem with that is then it'll get triggered by external circumstances all the time beyond your control. And then it adds to that feeling that you have no control and your life is a big nightmare, right? So angel storage is you're doing it with your angels together, and they help you. So they're like mentoring you through it. And so you just, you make some way of storing. I mean, you can imagine it, the way the angels show it to me, it's like you make pretty boxes with them out of gold light, and you put little designs on them that you're happy with, you know, so it's like a cool thing, you know, for you. So it's not like the boxes aren't flavored with all the trauma and junk that's within them, you know, it's just the box is really nice. You like the box, you know. You like your angel storage boxes. So make some angel storage boxes that you like, you know, just go ahead. Don't think about the trauma. Just make, you know, say, angels, can you help me make some angel storage boxes? Say angels, because that way your angels will hear you, even if you can't hear them. That's fine. Just say angels. Let's make some angel storage boxes, if that's okay. And then just, you know, just imagine a whole bunch of nice gold boxes, and you can make pretty designs on them. Be creative. You know, if you don't feel creative, that's fine. You can say, angels, can you make them nice? And then just, you know, like put your junk in. Put just all the evil junk that's been flavoring your life and, you know, whatever events that you can't handle, just say, angels, is it okay? And your angels are doing this with you. So if you put something in there that you're supposed to clear today instead, you know, they'll take it back out, right? But just fill up all the boxes and don't think about what's in there. Just blah, 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 blah. You know, you don't need to know. And just as they get filled up, your angels will take them off and then make a whole nother batch of angel storage boxes and just put in more junk that you can't handle. And then, you know, have your angels take that away, and then more and more and more and more and more. So, one more batch of just angel storage boxes, and you can put them far away from you so you don't even feel it, and just have them kind of suck out the awfulness from you. So they're like vacuum angel storage boxes, and they just suck out your junk, you know, and they go into the angel storage boxes, right? Your vacuum angel storage boxes are sucking out your junk. That's too much for you right now. And then just box it all up. Say, angels, can you take all this? Good job. Because the idea is it's good to clear energy. It really is. It helps your life. But too much is just too much, right? So you want to pace yourself, do a little bit at a time. So then you get these nice victories and you're like, oh, I'm such a rock star. You know, so your angels that way, if you're doing it with them, they'll give you a box at a time and they'll make sure the box doesn't have too much in it, you know, and they'll help you. Okay, so that is angel storage, using angel storage. And now we'll clear 2 big blocks just in case. That shouldn't have been like a triggering thing to get rid of all the stuff that you don't want to deal with right now in that angel approved way. But just in case, we'll clear 2 big blocks. That's never a bad idea. So just put out in front of you any energy blocks that are bothering you in any way, on any level. And the 2 big blocks, they'll be bigger. Maybe like surfboard size, maybe much smaller than that, but they generally are like several blocks stuck together by your resistance or somebody else's energy that's pouring them or whatever. So they're not clearing easily, just by normal flow, right? So just stack all your 2 big blocks up and bring up red earth energy, soak them in the red earth energy straight from the core of the earth, bring it up, and then gold light and melt away everybody's cords going into your 2 big blocks. So you can have coworkers, bosses, loved ones, exes, cording your 2 big blocks, former friends, current friends. Just melt away all their cords and melt away your 2 big blocks. Just let the glue that sort of makes them so big, let that melt, and then let the energy blocks melt away with the gold light. All right, so that was clearing 2 big blocks. I'm looking at a sample person for a sec, so hold on. Well, hold on is probably not the right word, but just I'll be quiet for a minute. You can do whatever you want. Okay, we're going to do another batch of clearing two big blocks, but with a different sort of concept. Um, So when I was looking at a couple people that had distanced themselves because they had too much triggered, right? And then they did the angel storage exercise that we just did. So then they were like a lot closer to their body, but they still weren't really coming in because they're like, just still doesn't feel right. It feels more right than before, but still not right. So what I was looking at is you can have, and there were a little bit of baggage in the filaments, so we could unblock filaments, but I think it's a little more than that. You can just have energy blocks that get triggered either here, or in the filaments that trigger when you are considering getting fully present. So if you're out, they don't trigger. It's just when you're thinking about, really clicking in and taking charge of your life. And they can be your own baggage, they can be dumped energy from other people. So I think doing it this way of clearing two big blocks that are in between you and your body, it sort of covers all the bases, because they could be here and they only trigger when you're trying to come in, or they could be here and they trigger when you're trying to come in, or they could be in the filaments, or so you don't have to worry about where they are, right? So again, we'll clear two big blocks, but this one will be so this is doing clearing. So stack up all the two big blocks that trigger when you're trying to get really present, and just line up all those two big blocks. Bring up red earth energy from the core of the earth and gold light, and melt away everybody's cords going into these two big blocks. Could be your cords too, so just melt all the cords, and then gold light and melt the glue that's sticking them, making them so big, and just melt these two big blocks with gold light from your hands. Deep breaths. So you're melting two big blocks that trigger when you're trying to get really present. So it makes it seem like, oh, if I just watch Netflix for 3 days, it'll all work out. So just put out in front of you any two big blocks that trigger when you're trying to get really present, and melt those blocks so you aren't feeling like you need to avoid things. Okay, so that helps, but I think there's one more thing that will help, which is also, it does have to do with clear avoidance. Clear avoidance and clear blocks you've been avoiding. Because, okay, the thing is, say like you have a mom or an ex or a parent or coworkers that are intense and invasive beings on top of that. So you always have this like stuff beating down on you. But then because of the Friday healing, your upper boundaries are better, and we'll work on them again today. But you never really had time to clear the baggage you were avoiding because you were too busy just trying to, be basically functional, And so now that you have better boundaries up here because you have better flow up here, what you've been avoiding, there's really no more distraction. You're not your chakras aren't damaged. You don't have these crushing blows coming down on your head. So it's more obvious what you've been trying to avoid, because it's just right there. You've been, it's still in your space, right? So it hasn't been taken away. We just did angel storage. So it's still in your space, whatever I'm talking about that you still have in your space that you're avoiding. So that means that it's good to clear right now, because otherwise the angels would have put it off in angel storage. Right? But we'll double check too, but I'm just saying. So just make piles out in front of you of all that you've been avoiding that is maybe a little more obvious now to you because, you know, you have better boundaries and you're more present. Damn it. And just melt away piles of what you've been avoiding, or you can blow them up. You don't have to feel what you've been avoiding. You don't have to write a 20-page essay on what you've been avoiding. Just melt it away. So again, let's just, take a breather for a second. That was a lot of clearing. So just think about wiggle your toes, wiggle your butt. Check out your shoulders, your head. Again, we're going to clear more avoidance energy, put out in front of you energy blocks that make you want to avoid things, and also literally what you have been avoiding. So it's maybe old grief, old sadness, old loneliness, old whatever, yucky stuff, right? Yucky stuff you do not want to deal with, right? And so guess what? It's easier to destroy it than to keep it with you. So that's even better than avoiding, right? So just bring up red earth energy, soak it all in red earth energy and gold light. You can even set it on fire with gold fire. Just melt it away. All right, good job. Woohoo! So that was clearing what you've been avoiding. Yeah, someone says, can we completely forget about what's in angel storage boxes, or will angels keep reminding us to clear more over time? Yeah, the idea of angel storage boxes is it's different than denial. Denial, yeah, you could just forget about it for like 40 lifetimes, and it's kind of screwing you the whole time. But angel storage is different because you're working with your angels about it, so it won't be kept in storage longer than necessary for your stability and happiness. So your angels work that out with you, the timing of it, about how many boxes, how fast, which boxes to do on which day, all that stuff. So it's definitely not like a forget it forever type idea, because your angels would never want that for you. They'd want you to keep growing and evolving, and because it still is baggage. So it still is going to improve your life if you clear it. It's just the point is you can only clear so much at once, and sometimes accidentally people like torture themselves by triggering too much at once, and then they just sort of give up because it's just too much that got triggered. But yeah, the idea is it will get cleared, and as quickly as is healthy and gentle. That's the idea. Okay, so now we're gonna do inner flow rivers. We're gonna unblock your inner flow rivers. And like chaos boundary walls and some other techniques, deep thought, it's an inner flow river is a simplification, right? So we're imagining one river to represent what we say it represents, and then you unblock that river, therefore you're unblocking, a bunch of stuff at once. And it's sort of, you put it in your intention that, okay, but this is healthy and gentle, right? So let's just do an overall inner flow river that represents meridians up top, meridians, as they're down low in your body. Parts of your auras, energy flowing within your bones, your muscles, your nervous system, all over, anywhere in your space, right? So a general inner flow river, to the extent that's healthy and gentle, so you'll just be able to perceive what's healthy and gentle to unblock, within this inner flow river, right? So this is the first one we're doing is just general, or all over maybe. I don't know how to say it. That's not a bad, I don't like that term, all over river. You're all over river. You're everywhere river. All right, whatever. It's one big river for your inner flow. Okay, so one big river representing your inner flow, and you'll be able to perceive and unblock to the extent that's healthy and gentle. That's your intention. And you just look at your one big river and just notice what's blocked and use gold light so that your one big river can flow. Because again, flow is what gives you strength and makes things heal easily, release easily, makes you feel better. Sometimes people are like, what's the point of clearing blocks? Who cares? Well, when your energy is blocked, you feel agony, you feel pain, you feel like you don't want to do anything. So clearing blocks is how you can feel better. So this is one big river representing your overall flow, auras, chakras, body stuff, body meridians, organs, muscles, bones, etc. So just notice some clogs and melt them away with gold light so you have more and more flow. If you have any invasive beings messing with your flow and your river, just say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings anywhere near this? Affecting this at all? Can you recycle these invasive beings? Just a couple deep breaths while that happens. So, inner flow river, unblock your inner flow river. What's the point of that? You will feel less shitty. Your brain will work better. So, inner flow river. Even if, say you feel really good already, well, then you could feel even better. You can have stronger boundaries. Because flow gives you strength. Strength gives you boundaries. So again, look at your inner flow river, which is a visual, simplified way of perceiving your flow. Of chakras, auras, meridians, filaments, everything. So your inner flow river And again, your intention is that what you see and clear is within that healthy and gentle range. So that's how your visual representation works for you. You just only see what's good to clear right now. So your inner flow river. Also, if you have confusion, things that you're confused about, either at this moment consciously or just in general, you feel like I'm not ready to make that decision or this decision or this decision or just imagine the blocks, right? That are messing with that clarity, that decisiveness, that ability to make decisions, ability to understand, right? So imagine those blocks and melt them away. Imagine the blocks in your inner flow river, to the extent that's healthy and gentle, that are impacting your comprehension, your clarity, your decision making, and melt those puppies away. Those blocks away. Shouldn't call them puppies. Puppies are good. So imagine your inner flow river that represents all sorts of stuff. And just melt any blocks in the way of your comprehension, clarity, decisiveness. So whatever you're confused about, just see it in blocks and melt the blocks. Nice. Okay. So that's your inner flow river, the one big one that represents everything within your space. So auras, chakras, meridians, energy flow within bones and muscles and nervous system, etc. I think that one big river technique was good enough to get much better upper boundaries for people. So that's nice. But I think existing stagnant energy that already got in there from before or already got stuck from before, there could be a little bit, or maybe just a little damage in, these meridians up here, or, the energy centers within the meridians. Like, for example, see all those dots. The lines are the meridians, the energy pathways, but then the dots are little chakras, and they're not actually shaped like dots, they're shaped like little chakras, keeping energy flowing along the meridians. So you could have damage in some of those. Or just stagnant energy. Let's see. Oh. Yeah. Sometimes too, like your body meridians, they want to fully unblock. Well, not fully, but a lot more. But then you have compression in like your first and second layers of your astral body aura or your physical body aura, and it just sort of clamps it down. So your body meridians don't unblock as much as they would otherwise. So yeah, the space like right next to your skin and then one out from that, let's unblock there all around the physical body. So even lower also, but I'm going to focus at first just the upper body. But I want to do down here too because it's also interrelated. So this will be unblocking. So that was explaining. So it's basically unblocking first and second layers. And this is unblocking first and second layers doing. I think I'm just going to get rid of that diagram though. So it's just first and second layers around your physical body and around your astral body. So right now I'm doing like, you can have stagnation everywhere, but sometimes it's like there's more than others, like just around the hips and the shoulders and the hips, in the front and the back, or like the top of the head and the bottom of the head, or just around the shoulders, or the sides of the head. And so I'm just gonna improvise and go all over, unblock the first and second layers right up against the body. I'm doing like right here around the side of the head. So it would impact all of that stuff, what I'm doing. But I don't want to focus on that too much. I want to just focus on the aura blockages around it. And hips and shoulders around there. So I'm blocking first and second layers all around the astral body and the physical body using lots of gold light. Just hunt for the stuck stuff. And you only want to perceive what's healthy and gentle to get rid of right now. And just notice if you have more flow after doing that in your first layer and your second layer of your auras. Maybe do a little stretching if you want. Gentle stretching. All right. So that was unblocking first and second aura layers of astral and physical body auras, which in turn helps everything flow better within your astral body and your physical body. All right. Oh yeah. Um, we have been working upper boundaries this whole time, but I haven't been saying it out loud. Like what we've been doing helps the upper boundaries, but I keep checking things without saying them out loud. So yeah, so you can check. You just get a sense of like, do you have a lot bearing down here, from above, or has this flow sort of created like a calm? So there's not a lot of hard stuff pressuring down on you. If there is still a lot of hard stuff pressuring down, then that means you have too much hardness somewhere around here, above the top of your aura or within your aura. Um, that weakens things and draws in the invasive energy, and then you get more destruction. So let's just overtly out loud do. We don't need to do it much because I've been watching it this whole time, just not talking about it. So we'll unblock upper auras. All the auras from like here up, and also above the top of the aura. Where people can dump energy, and if your aura is really healthy, it's not going to get in, but it'll still pile up there, which gets it's in the way up there too. So you can we'll do that first. Any energy that's piled up on the top of your aura, above the top of your aura, like right up here, just imagine it and just use lots of gold light and melt it away. Typically, as you melt some, then you're aware of more, and then you melt that, and you're aware of more. So again, this is unblocking above the top of your aura, just energy that's just been dumped and piled up there. Dumped on you from other people. Okay, and then just anywhere here, also a little bit of unblocking above your head, above your shoulders, around your upper torso, your auras, just so general. General double checking just to make sure that we did that one big flow river, and that should have helped a lot. But sometimes combing through literally that area, just imagining this area from here upward, like everywhere here, and just see if there's any clogs in the back or in the front or above. Okay. Good job. So, I'm just checking like creative rings and then major chakras along the spine just to see if they're relatively happy. They seem nice. I think the chaos boundary wall work that we did helped to repair anything that was necessary. Although some of my newbies, they need a little bit of extra unblocking. So we'll just do a little bit extra. Yeah, let's do gold bottle brush. I do like that quite a bit. Gold bottle brush. For We'll do it for the creative rings, all the major chakras, including the Kundalini chakra as well. And we'll do it for legs. How about that? So a little gold bottle brush party. Because I'm noticing with some of my newbies that, you know, maybe they've never gotten a healing before, or just not many. There's still a little more that's still healthy and gentle that they could unblock, especially with like lower chakras, 3, 2, and 1. 3, 2, and 1. All right, so just imagine creative rings, 3 gold creative rings, which are above the head, and then 7th chakra, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You have 2 sets of those 7 chakras, one for your astral body, one for your physical body. So you can make gold bottle brushes, or you can just use gold light from your hands, whatever amuses you. Gold bottle brush around creative rings. Give the brush to your angels. Angels, here you go. Make another gold bottle brush around the creative rings. Obviously, you make it so that it's super gentle for the actual parts of your energy system, but it picks up all the junk that's not you. That's healthy and gentle to get rid of. Angels, here you go. Let the flaps relax on your creative rings so that they just chill out. They look like 3 gold rings. And then your major chakras, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You have 2 sets of those, 7 through 1. So just lots of gold lighting. Oh, you know, sticky gold wax is fun too. We'll do gold bottle brush. So gold bottle brush for your 7th chakras. So 7th chakra, like I said, is oriented this way. So use the gold bottle brush all around the outside and the inside to get rid of all the junk that is healthy and gentle to get rid of. You give that to your angels. We also talked about family roles 2 days ago, and you can, you know, have like maybe people in your family labeled you as the dumb one, or the spacey one, or the incompetent one, or the troublemaker, or the, you know, the one who, whatever, the one they can mock, whatever. So just, you can imagine those insults, those like sort of group identity assignments that you were given in your 7th chakra, and just remove them. So just, oh yeah, she's the dumb one, and just remove that piece of energy, give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. Oh yeah, she's the failure. Remove that, give it to your angels. Oh, she's the one that misbehaves, you know, whatever it is. Just, and it could be from past lives. So any unhealthy family roles in your 7th chakra, just lift them out. Angels, here you go. Any unhealthy family roles in your 7th chakra in the top of your head, astral or physical, just lift out those family roles. Angels, here you go. That way you can just be yourself. You don't have to try to be what other people want you to be, or just be messed up by that. Okay, so that is removing family roles from your 7th chakra. As we're unblocking. All right, and then 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All those chakras are oriented the same way. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So just, you can turn them as a profile if you want, and make a whole bunch of gold bottle brushes. And just gold bottle brush all of them at once. Take out the gold bottle brushes, all junky now. Angels, here you go. More gold bottle brushes. Clean out chakras 6 through 1. Take out those bottle brushes, give them to your angels. Again, the idea is not to get every block, it's just to get what's good to do right now, right? And then we could just do a special one for your 1st chakra and your Kundalini chakra. Ideally, both of them, you set them to your favorite shade of red. 1st chakra is at the base of the spine. Kundalini chakra is just below that, actually touching it. So here would be your 1st chakra, and here would be your Kundalini chakra. That's a little smaller, but oriented the same way. And you can unblock them both at the same time if you want. Bunch of bottle brushes, gold bottle brushes, angels, here you go, or just with your hands, whatever you want. Could be your Kundalini chakra is spinning way too fast. You can even get it to stop spinning if you want, that's fine. But if you feel kind of like a flat, like emotionally flat in a way that you don't like, it could be just that your Kundalini chakra is turned off. So you could have it spin like in a moderate level. Except when you want to go to sleep or get back to sleep, then stop your Kundalini chakra from spinning. So again, melt cores and unblock and repair if needed. Your Kundalini chakra and your first chakra and your Kundalini chakra. Lift out the blocks, into angels. Angels, here you go. Lift out the blocks. Angels, here you go. Just checking all chakras, all the major chakras. Okay, so then gold bottle brush for the legs. Having functioning legs is really helpful for safety, for functioning. So if you want to be creative, you know, the more present and strong you are, it's just easier. So unblocking your legs will help you be more present and strong. So then you have the courage to be a little creative now and then, if you want. Okay, so just imagine your legs and have a big gold bottle brush that fits in the leg and just scrub out the inside of that leg channel. Anything that's blocking good earth energy flow, and just give that to your angels. Angels, here you go. Put another gold bottle brush in the other leg and just clean out gently all the junk that is in the way of good earth energy flow up your leg. Give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. You may have extra blocks in your knees and your thighs and around your thighs. So you can just kind of improvise and imagine stuff like that and melt it away. Your auras around your thighs and your hips. Just unblock to the extent that's healthy and gentle. So again, legs, gold bottle brush through each of your legs. Give the junk to your angels. Angels, here you go. Unblock your legs. There you go. Because you want the earth energy to come all the way up the legs and not have to, because if it finds too many blocks as the earth energy comes up, it'll bounce out and then have to go through your aura to get in your first chakra. And it might have to travel through a bunch of baggage. And so therefore it won't have that same comforting, safe vibration as if it was just pure earth energy coming through all the way up your leg. So set your foot chakra to be nice red, and then it draws up the earth energy at red, and red earth energy travels up through your leg into your first chakra. So just unblock your legs enough so that, especially upper thighs, so that it can stay in your legs and go to your first chakra from there, and your Kundalini chakra. All right. sometimes creativity is like, it is helped by unblocking your 7th to 8th chakra connection. So we'll unblock it in general and also to help the theme. So your 7th chakra is like we've been working on in your head, in the top of your head. It's oriented like this. And then purple would be a great color for your 7th chakras. And then your 8th chakra is above the top of your head. So if here, above the top of your aura. So if this is the top of your aura, then your 8th chakra could be maybe a foot above there or even 10 feet above there. It just gets lower and higher depending on what you're doing and how checked in you are, how motivated you are. And, you know, it doesn't always have to be as low as possible. Sometimes you can kind of goof off and it goes up a little more. But you have a gold connection in between your 7th and your 8th chakra at all times. And the more unblocked that is, then you receive through that gold connection to your 8th chakra. Because your 8th chakra is like part of what you might call your higher self. So your 8th chakra has a lot of wisdom that you've gained from your past lives and healing energy. So you want a good, nice, unblocked flow between your 8th chakra and your 7th chakra, right? So that was explaining. So let's do. So just imagine the gold connection, like a gold river between your 7th and your 8th chakra, and just melt blocks and only see the blocks that are healthy and gentle to get rid of, or only melt the blocks that are healthy and gentle to get rid of. Like, for example, if you're going through something that you haven't gone through before in this life, the 7th to 8th connection could be really useful because in past lives, you've kind of done it all. I mean, not all, but, you know, like big moves, big breakups, big new jobs, big having no job, big, you know, anything big you've probably done before. It's just now you're doing it in a different way, hopefully wiser, hopefully better, but, you know, maybe not so much. You might need, you know, to unblock that connection so you get more wisdom. Right? So 8th chakra, 7th chakra, the gold flowy connection between them, just unblock so that you get the benefit of that eternal wisdom that you have. Couple deep breaths. So we have done a lot of clearing. We're about to wrap up. But we've done a lot of clearing, and so, I mean, we've done nourishing, like we added a lot of gold light to the chaos boundary wall and the flow river, stuff like that. So in a way, that's giving back. But flower healing is a nice, obvious way to give back to yourself. So we're going to do flower healing for creativity. 2 ways. Okay, and it's probably best to just do both ways. You know, don't. So first we'll just do basic. You know, just make energy healing flowers for yourself out of universal healing energy. So they can be gold or rainbow colors, or both. You don't have to think about it really. Just make a whole bunch of energy healing flowers, whatever healing energy that you need for your creativity and your self-expression. Healthy creativity, healthy self-expression, right? And so just make all those flowers and say, angels, can you check my flowers? And then give them to yourself. And I'm putting my hands on my fifth and my fourth just because those are obvious places that part of it's going to go, but it'll go, the flowers go wherever they're needed. So go ahead and make more flowers for your creativity and your self-expression. Say, angels, can you check my flowers? And give them to yourself. A couple deep breaths. Okay, so that's one way. That's the simpler way. Then there's another way I was looking at where sometimes people have creativity that's kind of locked away. And so you could imagine it like it's in a locked chest, you know, like a big box. Maybe it's locked, maybe it's just not opening, whatever. But some of your creativity you're not able to access right now. But let's say that it would be good to access, but you just can't. And why? Because you're not at the right vibration. And once you are, then the box opens and you're able to use that creativity. So what we can do is, if that's the case for you, if there's any creativity that you're just not at a flowy, evolved enough vibration for, you can just imagine that creativity that would be good for you to have right now, creativity and self-expression energy. Imagine it like in a chest, so it's not accessible to you at the moment. And then you can give to yourself enough so that it is, right? And this is just what's healthy and gentle to do right now kind of stuff. So you can give to yourself enough flower healing. Angels, can you check my flowers? Until the box opens and you're able to get that. And you can say, angels, can you check this box? You know, make sure it's my creativity that I can access, that's healthy and gentle to access. And then just keep giving yourself flower healing. You can even give flower healing to the chest, you know, the box that the creativity's in. Give more flower healing to yourself. Angels, can you check my flowers? Angels, can you check my flowers? But at some point, you know, the box opens and you get your creative energy. And you can just dissolve the box. And that's something you can do for a lot of things. You know, sometimes you're just not at the right vibration for confidence. You're not at the right vibration for self-care, or maybe, you know, to exercise enough, you know, and you're just not at the right vibration. Maybe you're vibrating at guilt or shame or avoidance or whatever, you know. And so just imagining what you need boxed away, you know, and have your angels check it, and giving to yourself enough so that it opens, you know, is nice. So we could do one general one. We did that was for creativity, the open the chest exercise, right? So we'll do another one for whatever energy that you need, you know, right now. If it's more confidence or more discipline to, you know, do certain activities or study, or, you know, more focus, more better sleep, whatever. So whatever energy of yours that would be healthy and gentle for you to have right now, but somehow it's just not working in your space, you can imagine it in a box, and then say, angels, can you check this? And then go ahead and give to yourself with the flower healing enough so that, and keep having your angels check the flowers. Angels, can you check my flowers? Angels, can you check my flowers? Angels, can you check these flowers? And you can even use gold light on the chest itself, the box itself, until it opens and you get that energy of yours, whatever it was, the confidence, the focus, the playfulness, obviously the creativity, the discipline. All right, and then you can get rid of the box or give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. So that's sort of an open the box exercise. I don't know. We did boxes before, so open the chest. As long as you know chest isn't this, it's a chest like storage. Yeah, that's a funny metaphor because before we used it to hold baggage, but whatever. Unbox your abilities, we could call it. How about that? Unbox your abilities. Unbox your abilities. So at first we just did flower healing for creativity, and then we did flower healing as part of this unbox your abilities exercise, where some of your abilities are inaccessible to you, but they'd be good to use right now, and so you just keep nourishing yourself until they're accessible. All right, cool. So checking everybody out, making sure we're good to... we'll do, as we wrap up, we will do just a quick CBW, Chaos Boundary Wall, and a quick USP, empty unprocessed stress pots, and a quick clear 2 big blocks. Just all together, bam, bam, bam. So Chaos Boundary Wall, just imagine a big gold flowy wall representing your boundaries with all external energies, and just check it out. Heal it. If there's any gashes, heal them up with the gold light. If there's anything that needs to be removed from that wall that's in the way, just melt it away. Like hard stuff, dumped energy, whatever. Melt that away. Lift out the junk, melt it away. Chaos Boundary Wall, just keep healing it. To strengthen your boundaries. And then unprocessed stress pots, just imagine any unprocessed stress that you have around. Is it filling up your pots, or are your pots empty and ready for when you need them? And just notice, and you can bring up red earth energy and gold light and melt away cords going into these pots. Sometimes if you have like a close friend or like a parent that you think isn't helpful and isn't concerned about you, but they secretly kind of are, but in an invasive way, they could be cording your unprocessed stress pots. So just melt away cords from anybody. You don't have to worry about who it is, and then just empty the pots. Just let the gold light melt all that unprocessed stress that's in them. And then 2 big blocks, just line up any energy blocks that are too big. They're just not clearing, even though we've done so much today. And say, angels, is it okay to clear all this? Right? And then just go ahead, anything that's left over, go ahead and melt it away with gold light. So this is 2 big blocks. Again, put any out in front of you that need clearing, that are irritating you on any level, bothering you, making you confused or agitated, and just melt them away. Beware of your legs, your shoulders. All your major chakras, all your auras. We didn't do explicit aura repair, although Chaos Boundary Wall does a pretty good job usually at repairing aura damage. But I'm just double checking. And then unblock your grounding. You can recreate them. They should stay wide and flowing all the way down to the core of the earth. You can redo your gold buffer zones. And you can go ahead and just ask your angels for help with wrapping up the healing. So angels, can you help me wrap up this healing? Can you help me, angels, can you help me with my creativity and my self-expression? All right, good job. That's a healing. Woo, 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 woo. All right. So if you have a quick comment about how this healing was for you, or if you have a quick follow-up question about something that I mentioned in the healing, feel free to post it right now. If I have time, I will take a look. And if you have a comment, obviously, I would love for the people I heal to take a minute tomorrow, if you could, on Monday, to fill out your post-healing survey. That way I will be encouraged to look at your energy and make sure the healings are working for you as I design the third healing in this set. All right, so I am checking comments that I missed while I was healing. Someone did a big three-parter here. So just to clarify, we cleared too much in the first healing. Well, you cleared too much right after the first healing, within like, I don't know, like an hour after the first healing. So we as a group did not clear too much in the first healing, no. Plenty of people felt fantastic after the first healing. So now we are putting stuff in angel boxes so we aren't so overwhelmed. Yeah, angel boxes are to be much less overwhelmed, yes. How come the healthy and gentle concept didn't work? You know, sometimes people just blow the healthy and gentle. I mean, you know, it's always an intention, but people aren't perfect. Sometimes you just get a little giddy and go for it too much. I think the angel box system, the angel storage system, you know, that agreement with your angels will help. So that is less likely to occur. You know, I think if ever you make a mistake, you're like, well, how can I never, ever, ever make that mistake again? Tell me, Janet, you know, and I don't think there's a way to never, ever, 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 ever make a mistake again, you know, or that same mistake again, you know, without putting some weird control on yourself. But I think with the angel box system, you're less likely to blow past the healthy and gentle amount, just because your angels will start putting stuff away with you, and then they'll help you to only take out of the boxes so much at a time. So also, can you discuss avoidance librarians versus angel boxes things? Nah. No. Avoidance librarians, I mean, I think that was just when I was asked, you can ask angels to help you, I guess, but I don't tend to remember every single thing I've ever said. So, I mean, if you could explain how you use avoidance librarians, if you need to, you know, post it under the video if you need more clarification on whatever. Also, can you clarify, clearing out so much stuff in the first healing made us more aware of energy blocks that in that overhead area, so we cleared those today. So again, you cleared too much. But, you know, did it make you more aware of energy blocks in the overhead area? No. I mean, you triggered too much. You didn't clear too much. You triggered too much. If you had cleared too much, you would just feel kind of toasty, but not awful. If you, you know, like clearing too much would be like doing many, many, many loads of laundry, right? Triggering too much means you took out all this dirty laundry and you strewed it all over your house and you didn't wash it. So it's like overwhelming, and you feel like every bad unprocessed trauma you've ever felt in your life, you're feeling it right now. That is triggering too much. So you triggered too much. But like I said, with the angel storage stuff, that should help with that, because then your angels will, you know, you've already created this agreement with your angels that, you know, this is a potential issue and you don't want this to happen to you. And so you're going to be storing stuff away in these cool boxes that you actually like, you know, so with your angels, so you're not likely to fill up your whole house again with dirty laundry by over triggering too much big stuff. So anyway, someone says, thanks, Janet. Feeling pretty good. Oh, good. Someone says, thanks, Janet. I felt like I was floating until we did the leg work, rocking the leg work. Yeah, unblocking the legs with gold bottle brush, which we did towards the very end. I also feel low simmering anxiety, but I think that's due. But I also would mention, though, with your comment, that right before that, we unblocked the first chakra and the Kundalini chakra. And so I think that actually was, it was like a 1-2 thing where we unblocked the first chakra and the Kundalini chakra, and then we unblocked the legs. So I think that was really what did it for you. So if you did want to keep repeating that, I would say no, don't just jump to legs. I mean, you could, but I think for more effectiveness, unblock maybe, 3, 2, 1 Kundalini and legs. That is much more likely to give you that, whoa, I'm really more here kind of effect. Because really, before that, we unblocked all the major chakras, the creative rings, and then we did just one and Kundalini, and then we did legs, and then you're like, poof, whoa. So yeah, so I would say maybe 3, 2, 1 K and legs, or just 1 and K and legs. K meaning Kundalini chakra. I also feel low simmering anxiety, but I think that's due to needing to empty more stress pots. No, you have some cords going into your first chakra from coworkers. I think where you work is full of people who sponge up global pain. And so with all the wars and stuff, they're more than most workplaces, they are sponging up just gobs and gobs of pain and trauma from that's really happening with people in the world. And so I think that much like if you're in a group where, someone passes away and then everyone goes to the funeral, and there's generally a lot of courting in that situation. Doesn't have to be, but that's sort of, the subconscious default, that everyone courts together and feels like complete crap for quite a while. Not a good idea, but possible. Likely, actually. But so the same thing, like it's like a funeral vibe at your workplace, subconsciously. So people might think that they're having a good day, but they're resonating with all the death and trauma that's happening in the world. And then you're subconsciously courting to them, especially your body is courting up to them. Because again, if you don't kind of walk your body away from something, your body might just copy everybody around you. So your workplace is definitely like rocking the global pain. Fun. So yeah, just uncord. Make sure your body uncords them too. But don't preach to them about it. Just let them do their group pain thing and unblock and uncord. Especially at the first chakra. Someone says, this felt pretty good. Thanks. I feel less avoidant now. Yes, thank you. That's good feedback. I appreciate that. And I'm glad that that's true for you. Someone says, thank you. I keep matching global pain. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. And some people will do it in certain chakras more than others. Like with you, it's 147. Some people, it's just their first chakra. Not that anyone needs to know that, but I guess it's just kind of interesting. But, you can look at like, okay, what chakras do I normally like try to cord up to everyone on the freaking planet, or just the people that are being abused and murdered right now, how am I cording them? At the first chakra, at the fourth, at the seventh, at the third, what am I doing? And just melt those cords. Because it doesn't help those people. There are ways to help those people, donate to groups like World Central Kitchen that feeds people in war zones, or, Doctors Without Borders that gives medical care to people in war zones. I mean, there are concrete things you could do, but courting them is not one of them. Courting them just totally screws you. La la la. Thank you for this healing. I enjoyed it even with the pressure behind my eyes. It was coming in and out throughout, but I do feel like my chakra is starting to generate better. I'm wondering if you're also dehydrated. So that's sort of a rhetorical question. You don't have to post that, but I'm wondering. You could post it in your survey tomorrow if you think about it. Are you dehydrated? And there are beverages too that are diuretic that could contribute to dehydration. So like I think anything caffeinated is a diuretic, but I'm not sure about that, but I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So, you know, dehydration will make the body, it's just harder for the body to have boundaries, and then, you know, things hurt because things get stagnant. Also, you actually have some hard objects stuck in those two UB meridian points right here. The yellow ones right there. Those first two. I hate when it just keeps going. Stop! There we go. Okay, so just those 2 points, you know, in the inner eye and then in the inner corner of the eyebrow, those 2 points, you have like hard objects stuck there. So you could, you know, do sticky gold wax and just lift out the spears. Sticky gold wax, lift out the spears. Sticky gold wax, lift out the spears, and then use so much gold light that those chakras uncrumple and undamage and kind of pop back into their normal shape. And that'll help a lot too. I mean, unblocking in front, we did a lot today, and so that's pretty okay, but the chakras themselves and, you know, the hard objects are not fun. But you can get room. But yeah. Keep healing those instigator parts of you though, because you do tend to pick fights with your spouse quite a bit. And then he responds. So heal those instigator parts of you that are causing fights, starting fights with your husband. I mean, I'm not saying that he's even a half decent husband, but what's the point of just beating each other up the whole time you're married, you know? It's not going to make him a better spouse. It's not going to make you a better wife. It's not going to make being a mom that much easier at all. So it's up to you, but I would try to commit to a non-violent marriage, at least on your half of it. That way it would save you so much energy. Won't necessarily make him a better man or a better husband or a better father, but it could be a real game changer for you. So you can give that a try. Just keep healing those instigator parts of you, which if anyone needs a walkthrough, we did that in the Friday healing. Towards the end, I think it was heal instigator parts of you. It said for less backlash, heal instigator parts of you. Someone says, gotcha, thank you. I do feel much better now. Oh, good. I'm glad. Someone says, I was working on my creative project and passively listening to you. Yeah, I get that. Thank you for this splendid healing. I feel so peaceful and innocent right now. Oh, that's so cute. Speaking of which, I'm sure some people are like, skip that question, which is fine. Every question in the survey except for your name is totally optional. But at the end of a couple surveys now, I've been talking about baby animals. Why? It's just really working for me. So I apologize to all the people that are like done with the baby animal discussions. But at one survey, I was like, okay, if you were a baby animal, what would you be? And then when I was like, okay, if your loved ones were baby animals, which baby animals would they be? And I forgot to mention, if you want, well, you could be a magical baby animal too. Because somebody mentioned that they wanted to be a baby unicorn, and I was like, oh my God, I want to be a magical baby unicorn. That is it. That is it. That's my choice. Because a baby duck I like, you know, because they're so fluffy. But, you know, I think a magical baby unicorn could have that innocence, but also be really safe because she's magical, so she can protect herself. So you can be a magical puppy. You could be a magical, baby hedgehog. You could be a magical, kitten. If you want, you can add magical to it. So, I mean, I didn't say you can only be a non-magical baby animal because we're already imagining. So, but just to remind people that you could have a magical choice. So there's that. So yes, innocence is good. Like being playful and innocent. It's good for stress relief and stuff. Balance in your life. If you think about too much serious stuff, it can kind of hurt your brain. Oh yes, about sponging up global pain at work, yeah, and colleagues. I have a list of possible people, and it is a funeral vibe. Thanks for that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, a lot of people get killed and murdered in wars, and it's just completely horrific. And so I guess it's understandable why it occurs, but it's not a way. It's not helpful to anybody, and it can age you a lot. Like you can look and see people who resonate with global pain, and a lot of times they look way older than they really are, just because it's like it wears on the physical body to resonate like that with all that stuff. Hello, I fell asleep after angel storage boxes. Up now, thank you for our healing. You're welcome. Well, my internet has been good this whole time, so you should be able to watch the replay just fine. I mean, I don't know if you'll fall asleep during the replay, but it did record properly, so there's hope. All right, guys, you are so amazing, and this triplet site continues for one more healing on Tuesday, Tuesday the 5th of December, 2023. And what else? Then the next set this month, the December twin set, is the final set of the year. That's kind of exciting. And the theme is related to that. Getting closure in 2023, looking forward, proactive clearing for 2024. So that should be awesome too. And then February healing sets. January healing sets I already sold on my website, and they sold out, but February sets are going to be on my website December 15th for sale. If you don't get my news emails, I send them out every month on the 15th. Maybe rarely I might send them out a second time in a month, but I try not to, just because people get so many emails, and I don't want to be sent to the spam folder, because then, all the big email providers are going to think I'm a spammer. So I try not to email too much. I'll email on the 15th pretty much. But anyway, blah, blah, blah. If you have any questions that are not answered, obviously, by my website, janetwrightreadings.com, you could email me at janet@janetwrightreadings.com. Oh, Jesus. Sorry. I said my old web address and my old... The old stuff still does work, but it's better to use the new stuff. So the new stuff is jwhealing.com, like energy healing. JW, Janet Wright, jwhealing.com. No S, JW Healing. I'm still teaching myself. So my new email is janet@jwhealing.com. So if you don't get my news emails, feel free to let me know and ask to be put on that list. I will show you my puppies. Do I have any garden updates? I did do a little gardening yesterday. Not long, but I did do some. So that was exciting for me. We actually have a little sunlight right now, which is exciting. And other than that, I don't think I have much exciting gardening news. I mean, it's not going below freezing every night now, which is really exciting. So I can let my plants, the ones that I still have to plant, I can let them, just be out and get as much sunlight as you can get right now. So that's cool. All right, so I'm showing my puppies. So that's Abel. How cute is he? No cone on. He's that nice? Sometimes he still needs the cone, but a lot of times he's good without it now, which is wonderful. And that's Izzy, who's also sort of asleep. And the floor is so clean, not because of me, but because of my husband. So God bless my husband. Angels, please bless my husband. All right, you guys are amazing.